Hey, what's up, everybody? So I had some ideas today that um, I realized would be useful potentially um, for others because the last month or so I've been, every month I have a specific set of goals, and this month just happened to be a pretty cool one where I was trying to automate my life as much as possible because I read that, a lot of high level CEOs typically only make 1 to 2 decisions a day, and so they automate a lot of other things. And just a lot of successful, multimillionaires and people of that nature just know that there's only so much willpower in a day, so they're going to go ahead and outsource as much as they can. And so I wanted to start with something I recommend is just create some like skills that you want to improve on in the next year and write them out. They don't have to be this, obviously. These are just my specific ones, right? Martial arts and meditation, and just, some of these things you could maybe do, and others you're not interested in, like climbing or reading or whatever. But these for me are things that I want to improve on. So these need to somehow get into my calendar, and that way I can automate that. So let's take a look at October. So in October, I thought to myself, I have a lot of shit that I am going and doing that I don't really need to do. I can just automate. And so I wanted to focus on that, right? So certain variable items like toilet paper and deodorant and toothbrushes and stuff, like that just pops up randomly. And I've never taken the time to figure out how long it takes in between each item. So I did that and I figured out, it might be a month, 2 month, whatever. So I got it all set up. And we'll go over that in Amazon real quick. And then secondly, I've wrote out, meditation, hangboarding, cold shower. Those can be anything that you want to work on. But what I do is I take a screenshot of it and I've set it as my background in the phone so that you're forced to look at it every day, because everyone just stares at their phone like 1,000 times a day. So I figured it's a good idea to do that. And that way I can just see it. So that's number one. So number two, I wanted to jump into automating your finances. So in my other video, I've talked about, where I invest, all that good stuff. I talked about all of this, and all that's automated, right? Automation to the 401k, automation to Roth IRA, to Bitcoin, or Coinbase rather, HSA, individual, a little bit to savings for real estate and things like that. And then basically I have all my bills automated. My credit card payment is what I pay everything on. That's, outside of rent and all that. And that's all automated, after every statement, that'll automatically. So I don't do anything. I just sit here and watch this all grow and just enjoy the process, which is what you should do too. I recommend. And so the way that you maintain your budget so that you don't really have a choice, right? So if you have your investments automated, that money's gone. And so you have X amount of money. For me, I got to stay around $4,500 a month, or else I'm dipping into the next month. So you learn your lesson after a while, but the best way to do it is to have 3 sections here: fixed, variable, and discretionary. So if we go in discretionary, we'll see things that are every month. They stay the same and they're predictable, right? Haircut, I'm gonna get it every month. Netflix, boxing, my meal prep service that I outsource. So I get these, delicious meal preps, fully packaged and cooked, and I just pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes. That is the best automation ever. I don't go to the grocery store anymore. Although it's not cheap per se, so you gotta have the money for it. Some climbing stuff, electric. There's my rent. Et cetera, et cetera. And then if we go to variable, we're going to see that these are, groceries and gas, things that can be, that can change. Maybe buy some shoes. These are all my automated, components from Amazon, or products rather. So I've got like deodorant, toothpaste, Keurig cups, some shoes that I bought. I waited like 4 years to buy new shoes, and so I kind of splurged on a nice pair. And then, some other things that are just not every month. These are wants technically. I mean, shoes are not really a want. I do need them, but they're just things that aren't, for sure every month static. And the discretionary is obvious. This is just, you're just blowing your money on whatever you want because you have that money left over. So the restaurants and, I bought a hangboard for my climbing hobby, Starbucks because I was waiting on Keurig cups, Chipotle, whatever. So you get the idea. So you'll be forced to come in here and actually manually move some of this stuff. So once this is, let's see if any of these are ready to go. I got Chipotle in a couple days. Yeah, so Starbucks, we'll just move this in discretionary. So it forces you to actually move it. So it's not entirely automated, but you can apply it to all transactions in the future. So then now it knows that Starbucks is going to go ahead and go straight to our discretionary. And then so you'll just jump in here for 5 minutes a day and just make sure you're not, going too crazy on your budget here. So the next thing we'll take a look at is the calendar. So this is another thing that, people really need to take advantage of this. I can't believe more people aren't doing this. I heard Jordan Peterson mention it first when he was doing a lecture, and he was just talking about, adding in all your different tasks and habits and high impact items for the day in your Google Calendar. That way you get little notifications and you don't have to make the decisions. The past you has already made the decisions for you, and you can just appreciate the past version of yourself and just follow what you need to do, so based on the goals that I mentioned earlier, right? So you have these, set of skills that you want to knock out: lifting, meditation, looking at, finance, climbing, something, social outings with relationships, whatever it may be. You're going to turn that into a daily component, 30-minute blocks or whatever it is. So you can see here I've got wake up in the morning and have athletic greens, electrolytes, put on some sunscreen, go for a walk. At work, I'll hit these very high impact, kind of deep, cerebral activities like creative work that are, the most ROI. And I'll knock that out for about, 90 minutes. I'll meditate on Sam Harris's Waking Up app, which I love. And another thing is put these big ones that are important on the front of your phone. As you can see, you don't see Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat on my shit, right? Like I'm not saying I never do it, but I definitely delete the app very often, and I keep it out of my LOS, like on my wallpaper or my background. So I've got my budgeting, because that's a very important goal for me. I've got my meditation. I've got some reading I can do. Like right now I'm listening to, meditations, and I've got a real estate book here on syndications, evolution of desire, a lot of cool stuff in there. So I recommend that. And then my notes, right, for tracking my lifts whenever I'm strength training, tracking all kinds of other things that I'm doing, tracking some stuff with money, here's tracking my lifts, just random thoughts, boxing, there's some journaling, some climbing, right? You get the idea. This is where you can kind of track some of the goals that you have and just the most important pillars in your life. And so we'll close that up. And yeah, so Sam Harris's app is fantastic. Highly recommend. You can just come in here and do like a 10-minute session in between your work. And so I'll do that. I'll hit the meditation, kind of get grounded, whatever. And then I'll kind of come back in refreshed and do another 90. And then when that's done, that's where Andrew Huberman recommends, exercising. And he also recommends the walk, or forward angular motion, right? So I try to, right when you get up, within the first 30 minutes of waking up, he says, go get some sunlight. It helps with all kinds of things. It just helps, getting your day ready, and it really helps your circadian rhythm get started. So try to do that within 30 minutes. So as you can see, within the first 30 minutes, I'm going to hit that walk just for 15 minutes or so. If you have a dog, that helps. And then the second thing I recommend that he recommends is to not drink coffee immediately, because your body has a hormone. I don't think it's a hormone, but it's called adenosine, and it basically blocks the tiredness feeling in your brain, or the tired chemical, whatever that's called. I guess it's adenosine. And so basically what you want to do is just wait so the adenosine gets completely flushed out. That way, you don't have a crash later in the day. So you wait about an hour to 90 minutes. I usually wait about an hour, sometimes 90 minutes, and then I'll drink a cup of coffee, right around, 20 minutes into work or before work or something like that. And then, like I said, get some exercise in. I've got strength training, I've got some boxing, and then finished up with a cold shower. And then by then I'm pretty much done, right? All my willpower has been used, and it's difficult for me to do anything else that is pretty high impact past 1:30, which is why when I get back to work, I'm just going to do some daily tasks and some things that, people will message me. There'll be some escalations. It doesn't require a lot of brain power. It's just mundane stuff. And then the rest of the day, it's a breeze, right? So that covers the calendar. So definitely take care of that. And then lastly, I was just going to talk about automating the, via Amazon or whatever you want to do. So I've got some sparkling water, some protein bars, coffee. You get the point. Just normal things that you need that normally you would have to stop your day, stop your focus, go buy this randomly from Kroger or Tom Thumb, when you could be focusing on something else, right? And I think that's really all I wanted to cover in terms of automation. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. I've been focusing on that this month, and I recommend everyone get a nice good set of habits in the morning and use Google Calendar. Use these tools to really iron this stuff in. It takes like 21 days or so to get it done. So if this is, popping up in your face every day, you're more likely to get it done. On your calendar, you get, these notifications, and then also on your phone background, you have your goals kind of yelling at you right there. 2 to 3 items. I think Andrew Huberman recommends like 6, and then that way, you might not do 2, 3 to 4 actually happen. For me, I usually try to do, maybe anywhere from 2 to 4. All of these were not too bad. I've got meditation down for like 2 weeks now every day. I just got the hangboarding kind of set up. Automation's done. So I've pretty much automated my life entirely. It's fantastic. And then cold shower is the hardest one for me. And I've been doing it for, 5 days or so. So yeah, good luck everybody.